morning, everyone. Welcome, and thank you all for coming out for this amazing announcement. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Caroline Williams. I'm the Senior Director of Communications for USA Basketball, and I will be your point person for all things USA Basketball Women's National Team during the next 3 years with Cheryl. So I'm going to turn it over now to Marnie Gellner, who many of you know very well from this area, and she will take it from there.
Thank you, Caroline. Good morning, everyone. A very receptive audience today. I love that. Thank you. Wonderful to see you all. For those of you who don't know, I'm Marnie Gellner. I work for Bally Sports North, and I call play-by-play for Lynx games on TV and have been doing so for many, many years. Have known Cheryl for her entire tenure here, and I have to say, just even walking over, it felt like the walking version of a presidential motorcade, because we had a big group, and everywhere we turned, there was a photographer, there were employees standing, and then when Cheryl would walk by, everybody would stop, and they would whisper, "That's the coach, that's the coach." So this is a big deal. This is a big deal, and I am so happy to have been asked by USA Basketball to be a part of it. Thank you, and thank you to Cheryl and Carly for including me today. And thanks for the links. Thank you for helping with this press conference and arranging everything. Simone New and everyone involved with the Lynx Media Relations staff, thank you for helping put this together. I would like to just let you know the format for today. We're going to hear from everybody on the stage. We're going to turn it over to questions from the audience, and then anyone who has a scheduled one-on-one interview with Cheryl will happen after our ceremony on the stage today. So with that, I would like to introduce from USA Basketball the CEO, Jim Tooley, who is sitting right beside me.
Thank you very much. Appreciate being here today. We're excited to be here and be a part of this announcement, and I want to thank the Lynx for hosting us here today. I want to recognize four-time Olympian Sylvia Fowles, two-time Olympian Lindsay Whalen. Rebecca Brunson was a Pan Am athlete so it's nice to see some familiar faces here. So, Cheryl goes back to 2014 with USA Basketball. She helped us win 2 World Cup gold medals, 2 Olympic gold medals, which were our 6th and 7th consecutive gold medals for our women's national team in Olympic competition, which is extraordinary. And today is a big step towards going towards number 8 in a row. And we're very excited about that. No pressure, by the way, right? How's that for an intro? But we're very excited about it. And what I've learned with working with Cheryl and getting to know her over several years is that when you get Cheryl involved, you get all of her. She's engaged, she's committed, and her passion and enthusiasm is contagious. So I'm pleased and proud to announce that Cheryl Reeve is named our USA Basketball's Women's National Team coach. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Since I received the call from Bree sharing that they'd like me to be the national team coach, I thought, boy, they let anybody do these things. But no, it was very surreal. It was, the initial kind of like, did this really happen? And you kind of, and things start to settle in, and then you just start to have feelings. You feel honored, you feel humbled. You feel grateful, and then you feel excited. There's just so many things that you go through, and honored to be able to be a part of one of the greatest sports dynasties ever, and to have so many people. We have some Lynx greats: Andrea Lloyd, Katie Smith, Teresa Edwards, that were all a part of forming this great dynasty. And to represent your country at the highest level of sport, so you just feel tremendously honored, humbled. You think about Tara Vanderveer, Nell Fortner, Ann Donovan, Van Chancellor, Gino Auriemma, Dawn Staley, and now Cheryl Reeve. Incredibly, incredibly humbling. Grateful. I can't say enough about our Lynx family, starting with our ownership. There's not a better family to work for than Glenn and Becky Taylor. So I'm so appreciative of their support through the years. So appreciative of all of you. All of you have a hand in this. Think about all that you've done for the Lynx through the years to help us be positioned in this way. To the many great staffs that we had along the way. And it's not lost on me that I'm sitting here because of some really great players that we've had. You mentioned Lindsay Whalen, Rebecca Brunson, Sylvia Fowles, Maya Moore, Simone Augustus, Nafisa Collier. Are you kidding me? That's not lost on me, that the opportunity that I was given to be able to be here with the Lynx at this time for the last decade positioned me to be able to be a part of this great opportunity. Grateful for my family, my wife, and my son, who's so excited to be out of school right now. Do I really have to go back, Mom? The sacrifices are many, and I just appreciate you guys always jumping in with 2 feet. It's not easy to do, and there are many more sacrifices ahead, so thank you in advance. To my Jersey family, my mom, my brothers, and my sisters-in-law, my nieces, my nephew, my aunts and uncles that all get to share in this wonderful journey. I've appreciated their support through the years, and I would be remiss if I didn't thank the selection committee, Jim Tooley and Brianna Weiss, to have confidence in me. I'm so appreciative. So that's, I'm just full of, Gino Ariema, Dawn Staley, who put me in this position, just so incredibly grateful. And then the last piece is excitement. I just feel so excited to get started. We get past this, and I can't wait. We have a tremendous amount of talent in the WNBA, in the college ranks, if you're watching. I mean, there's a lot of talent, and I know there'll be some new faces. I'm still working on Sil to see if maybe she can still be one of our old faces, but not much luck so far, but we still got time. But really exciting opportunity, and I just feel incredibly blessed to be able to work with the best athletes in the world. And so I'm excited about the opportunity to bring us all together and try to qualify for the Olympics and compete for gold. Thank you, all of you, for being here and supporting this here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Congratulations. Ooh, Oliver, your teacher called. She needs you back. Now. It's also my pleasure to introduce the woman on Cheryl's left, the Women's National Team Director, Brianna Weiss.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk about just the schedule going forward from here. So the USA Basketball Women's National Team will first compete in the FIBA World Cup qualifying tournament from February 10th through the 13th next year in Washington, D.C. Our opponents will be Puerto Rico, Belgium, and Russia. Later next year, we will compete in the World Cup. That is in Sydney, Australia from September 22nd through October 1st. The winner of the World Cup qualifies for the 2024 Olympic Games. Between the World Cup and the Olympics, the team will also participate in the 2023 through 2024 Olympic qualifying tournaments. Players and coaches for the February window will be announced at a separate date. Obviously, the first task is why we're here today, to have a head coach for the next 3 years, and I could not be more thrilled to be sharing the stage with that person, Cheryl Reeve.
We are going to open it up to questions from you all. There is a microphone that we will pass around. Please state your name and your affiliation before asking the question. I would like to ask the first question because we all walked down with our USA Basketball masks, and Cheryl's was, I'm just going to say it, dirty. And I'm just wondering if Cheryl, why is that?
It was champagne.
Well, where was that mask from?
It was from Tokyo. Okay. So it was
so
really
in her
embarrassing.
pocket, Cheryl pulls out the Tokyo mask, and it's dripping with championship champagne. You may want to save that mask. Let's start with Kent Youngblood. Go ahead, Kent.
Hi, Kent Youngwood from the Star Tribune. I know after the Olympics finished up and Don was talking about stepping away, you said that you felt that whoever was the next coach, it should come from the WNBA ranks. It hasn't happened. This is going to be kind of new territory. Can you talk about why you thought that was so important?
Well, it has happened. Van Chancellor and Ann Donovan were each pro coaches, but it's an opinion of this person who happens to be a pro coach. My dad didn't raise a dummy. If Dawn didn't want to do it anymore, I wanted to make sure I had a shot at it. So, just kidding, of course. No, I mean we have it's my opinion doesn't matter. I'm just a coach, and they have selection committees and boards, et cetera, for that. I just thought that it would be a case with professional players mostly that we have some good pro coaches, and I wanted to make sure that we were front and center for these opportunities, and I'm appreciative. I'm sure it was what I said that positioned me here today to be able to be the coach.
Jim Suhan, Star Tribune. Cheryl, when I talked to you in Tokyo, you were saying that, hey, it's Dawn's job. You were very complimentary of her. Did you talk to her about what it would be like to do? I guess what was the conversational process with her? Did you seek advice from her, or was this just a clean wait for her to make her decision and see what happened after that?
Everything that happened in Tokyo, it was kind of Dawn's vibe and what she was feeling, and Dawn's a very honest person. We're both from the Philly area, and that's kind of how we roll. Dawn, I felt like Dawn afterwards, I wanted to make sure that she knew that I thought she should remain the coach, and would love to continue to be a part of it with her. And then this morning we had a conversation, and I called her to thank her, and I said, for now I'm thanking you. In a couple of years I might be cursing you, but just Dawn is a tremendous mentor to so many people, and it's strange for me because I coach Dawn, and then I work for Dawn, and now Dawn's somebody that's kind of put me in this position. And to take the reins, and she'll be a tremendous resource, and she let me know that she was not far away, and but we've been doing this. We were assistant coaches together, and so she said she's like, you were in it with me, you felt everything, she goes, it'll just be a little bit more when you take this seat, and I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it. We've had high expectations here in Minnesota for a long time. We meet those expectations with a certain way that we conduct our business, and I plan to do the same thing for USA Basketball.
Jace Frederick, Pioneer Press. Cheryl, you have so many responsibilities already on your plate, and this is another massive one, an honor and a responsibility. What is it about this job that you want it, considering everything else you have going on as well?
Well, it's the penultimate in coaching. Ask any coach. Only a few people get the opportunity, and I can't say that that my life dream was walking around saying I want to be the head coach of the national team for USA Basketball. I was very fortunate, timing-wise, to be coaching here in Minnesota with great teams, and Waylon and Maya brought me along, and Sil brought me along on their trips, and I was able to just kind of experience it and how special it is. It truly is. The culture matches what we preach here in Minnesota, so it was an easy thing to be a part of. And the sacrifice, the sacrifice that everybody makes for the common good to bring home a gold medal for our country. There's nothing greater than that. And to be selected as someone to lead that, it's a great honor.
John Krasinski from The Athletic. Cheryl, I wonder, you are taking over, like you said, one of the greatest dynasties in sports, and it has been a machine that has run this way through it. How do you envision putting your own fingerprints on it and kind of wanting to respect how it's been done, but also wanting to do it the way that you think needs to be successful?
Well, I think what we've done for many years, or what they've done for many years, has been really successful. So it would serve me well, to listen to what has worked. I think from a coaching standpoint, these two have been around a bunch of coaches, and what I've witnessed, what I've observed, is that coaches got to come in and be themselves, no matter what. And so you have a much shorter window to get those things done. And so I've had the good fortune to be able to be around that and see what works and what doesn't work. And so for me, I don't necessarily have any grand different ideas. It's more I want to go in there and be myself, get a collection of players that will be selfless and play really hard for the good of our team, and do it in a way that we can all be proud of. And that's the only thing I know, and so that'll be a natural fit.
Jack Borman, SB Nation. Cheryl, you've accomplished a ton in the basketball space over the course of your career. When you look back at your journey to where you are now, what do you think stands out to you the most and makes you the most proud about getting to this pedestal that you're on now?
You know, I think, like I just said, I think the thing that I tell people the most is, the winning part is fun. Winning championships, winning gold medals with Lynx players. More than anything, it's how we do it. I think that is most special. It's the relationships that are formed along the way. Life-lasting, lifelong. You do anything for each other. And so that's the special part. Sure, we become more relevant because you win. People pay more attention, you have more responsibility, more expectations. But at the end of the day, it's who you're doing it with and the relationships. And that's what I covet the most.
Lucas Seeoffer, SBNation.com. Coach, what's the greatest difference or maybe the greatest challenge between coaching, like X and O style, coaching at the WNBA versus coaching at the Olympic level?
I think there's definite differences. The same thing that you see on the men's side, that the game is probably a little more wide open. Fewer of the quote traditional bigs. There's more movement, probably a lot of skill players. And so, there's subtle differences and some tweaks that you have to make. I will say that I think that the WNBA game is becoming a little more European. And so, I think those are probably the simple things. But I think, the U.S. is good at what we do. And you don't want to change your style too much. But you got to be ready for a lot more three-point shooting. And I just think about some of the matches, the toughness. Being Olympians are just this next level. They just have this a cut above. And so the toughness that you go against, the competitive nature, everyone's great. And so, the challenge each and every time that you step on the floor, you're playing against the world's best. And so you've got to be ready for that, because that's a whole nother level of things to prepare for.
Jim and Brianna, you don't have any shortage of candidates for this type of job. So what was it about Cheryl that made her the right choice at this time?
I'll take that one. Cheryl's been with us since 14, and she's gotten to experience the culture. She's had success at other levels of the sport as well. And like I said, her passion and enthusiasm is contagious. And as we take this on, you have to have that hunger to keep this going. It just doesn't happen. So for us, it was really a no-brainer, and we're excited to have her on board.
And Cheryl, Jim Suhan again from Star Tribune. Did you consult anybody else other than Dawn about the possibilities of taking the job or what the job would be like?
I think through the years I've done some asking questions along the way. But honestly, when Bree called, I did want to have a conversation with Jim and make sure his involvement would be the same, because I think these things work because of the behind the scenes and the people that are committed to it, people that really care about it. Jim Tooley, General Dempsey, who's on the board of USA Basketball. Having people like that involved was important to me, to know that the support was going to be there. Someone like Bree, I know that very committed to the player side of things. So you want to make sure that you have a group going into this thing that can position you to be successful and you have what you need. So those conversations were had, and honestly, Dawn hung up with Bree, and I called Dawn, called Jim, and I called Bree back and said, let's do this thing.
Larry Fitzgerald, National Programming Network. Cheryl, congratulations again. Can you talk about your journey that started at Indiana State? Did you envision all the success, being a general manager, being a world champion, that this was going to happen for you?
Of course I did. I knew exactly everything was going to happen from there. Of course not. I was a 28-year-old head coach at Indiana State, and I'm sure I made a ton of mistakes, and we did the best that we could. When you're 28 and you're not ready. You don't know anything. You think you know everything, and when you're 28, but when you turn 40, you go, man, was that dumb? But I've been fortunate. I think about my career and who I've been. From the time I was recruited for college, and a coaching change, and just each step of the way, I just been blessed. I just think about how things just, right place at the right time, and trying to take advantage of opportunities that you're given. And I've just been really fortunate and really blessed along the way. And the Indiana State experience, as a first-time head coach was something that was really valuable later in my career, no doubt about it.
Thank you for the questions. I'd like to close with just one thought. Cheryl, you have a lot of fans. The people gathered here, they're up on the Skyway there, they're watching at home. And when someone gets an honor like this, like a USA Basketball, a lot of times if it's a player, we can buy the jersey. We can buy a Sill USA jersey. You can buy a Wheezy USA jersey. I had a Jennifer Azzi number 8, 1996 jersey. Do we want to consider a blazer with Reeve on the back? You've had a moment with the blazer. Maybe tearaway sleeves just for the value. Get better use out of it. Just a thought for you two when you head back to Colorado Springs. Closing today with a presentation, a gift that USA Basketball has for Cheryl. See, that's basically the blazer with the sleeves already torn off. It's fine.
I like that idea. I think so. One more.
Well, okay. Okay. One last one. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here today. Have a safe and wonderful day. Any photo ops or individual interviews with Cheryl will be held right after this. But thank you all. Thanks for being part of this great day. Congratulations, Cheryl.